Congratulations on 200 wins.
Yeah, thanks. I was on the radio with Brent Norton going, I'm not sure who came up with 200, like if that's a milestone or whatever. And it's awesome. But it was Jordan Christiansen, our SID. He's like, hey, I did that, sorry. But it's great. I mean, honestly, if you're here long enough, you're gonna rack up the wins. It's not something we count. I mean, I knew that. Like, I knew it was 200 like 3 days before somebody said something. But it's awesome just to be here and have the guys. For me, it's like they're not wins for me. It's all the guys throughout my entire career that go on the field and just lay it out on the line every day. So it's kind of awkward to talk about, really.
Well, that's why we wanted to bring it up, Mike.
Yeah, thank
you. You've won 8 in a row, and this team has turned a corner. First off, what does it take to win 8 games in a row? That's significant in baseball.
Yeah, consistency. Consistency on the mound. Our pitching staff has just really kept us in games all year long. We haven't let any games get away from us. Brock Hale's swinging the bat right now, and we're getting production all the way through the lineup. So it's just we're playing good defense. Honestly, it's just consistency.
Well, it's a nice thing to be at home consistently early in the season, and that hasn't happened really since you took over. So explain to us what it's like to play a majority of your games in March on your home field.
Yeah, it's great. We got the Gonzaga series and moved down here. There's a comfort level. You go out and practice every day on your field, just like any other sport. Just the surroundings are familiar, and so we go on the road this week, home next week, and then we're on the road for a bunch of weeks in a row. But there's just a level of comfort at home. Sleep in your own bed. The routine's the same. It's just a comforting thing to know you're at home, and the background looks the same as it does every day, and your fans. We had great crowds this week, so I would just say that there's more comfort in playing at home than there is on the road, especially for young guys who aren't really used to doing that a whole lot.
There have been a lot of wins at home, which brings us to our stat of the day.
It's the BYU Sports Nation stat of the day.
BYU's 13 home wins are the most in a single month since 2005. And a lot of that has to do with, one, winning, but two, this part of the schedule. When you knew you were going to play this many at home, was this the part where you said, okay, we've got to go on a nice little run here to set ourselves up? Well,
yeah, we want to win games at home. We have to win series at home, for one. And losing to Gonzaga, then coming back and sweeping St. Mary's and Portland was huge. So we were looking at it as, yeah, we won every series and swept one, you know. But going on the road, USD, we play Utah tomorrow and then USD on the weekend, and then Pepperdine home next week. It just doesn't get easier. And I guess that's why we get into this business. You want the competition, and just as long as you have Pepto-Bismol by your side, you're good to go.
So, that's your key?
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
I got a kick out of the story last week on Thursday. When Danny Jelic goes down with an injury, and that's not the funny part. We hope he's doing all right. He had a shoulder sprain, but the fact that you turn around and are like, "Hey, is Jaron here yet?" Because he needs to play. And then he goes in and makes this crazy catch, crashing into the wall, and has an immediate impact. He had 2 RBI in that game as well. But what has Jaron Hall and his transition to this BYU baseball team meant to the depth of your roster?
Well, first of all, he's a great kid. He's a great fit culturally. A lot of guys who come in and they think they play football, so they're bigger than the baseball program. He's not that way. He's like, I'm a freshman. I'm trying to learn, and he is. But he's so athletic, and he has so much to offer. As we see him make this play off the wall, and this was like the first ball hit to him. This is the same play that Danny Jelic got hurt on, ran into the wall. And then Jaron comes back the next inning and makes just a great play on it. That was an instinct play where he deked the guy, got him to stop, and got a big out for us. But he needs to learn how to he needs more at-bats. So he hasn't seen, in his high school career, he never saw really good changeups and really good off-speed stuff. And I would imagine he saw 84 to 86 mile-an-hour fastballs, and now he's seeing 88, 92, and he's seeing really good curveballs. And so he just needs time to have at-bats in games and get that experience, and sky's the limit. Fortunately, we have him here because we don't lose a whole lot if, like, say, Danny Jelic goes down. And Danny's a premier outfielder, one of the best I've ever coached. And so, but Jaron could be that as well, as we saw right there.
Now that spring football's over, Jaron's 100% baseball, right?
Yeah, that's what I understand. 2 times in 2 weeks, the Utah Valley game, I'm like, hey, is Jaron here? It's the 5th inning. we might have to use him, and he gets a game-winning hit. And then Jelic goes down. I'm like, is Jaron even here yet? And Coach Herring's like, yeah, he just walked in, so let's use him.
So what kind of leap do you expect potentially at the plate? Because he's a good fielder. I think he's good there. He's 4 for 28. What kind of, now that he can be 100% baseball, what kind of leap do you expect?
Yeah, I mean, slow. It'll be slow because we're going to face a left-hander Thursday that's 93 in Murphy for San Diego. And he's going to struggle. I mean, but hopefully his athleticism is just going to allow him to see the ball, hit the ball, and he'll get fooled a few times, and we just need to be patient with him.
You clearly wanted to change the culture last year. After going 22-28, you're now 21-5. That's crazy. You're one win away from equaling the win total you had last season, and we're not through March yet. I mean, that's a credit to you and your staff and the players for buying in. But what was the most difficult part about that process of changing the culture so that you can get to this point?
Well, the toughest part is just letting go of the guys who are part of your family. That, you know, it's just some guys were married and just like weren't really into it, and some guys I felt like were had cultural issues with the team. And so we just needed to make changes, and that was the toughest part. And then obviously you're hoping the guys you brought in understand what the culture's like. But what the big difference on this team is, we have so many senior leaders and junior leaders. But I mean, all of our seniors, from Jordan Wood and Brock Hale and Noah Hill and Keaton Kringland, I can name just Casey Jacobson, who doesn't play every single day, but he's such a leader. We don't have captains this year simply because I think it would be unfair to name 2 guys captains when we have 12 guys that could be captains. And so it's worked this year for us. And I think that one thing, that leadership from top to bottom, and the freshmen buying in, everybody on the same page, has been huge for us this year.
There have been a lot of notable guys who have contributed to this change, like you mentioned. I want to highlight one of them, Jackson Clough. Sometimes guys
should have mentioned him, yeah,
take
Jackson.
a minute to get back from a mission and get into it. He has not. Why?
Because I mentioned this to Dave McCann. He plays 100% of the time. He gives everything. He's a coach on the field. I know he wanted to play shortstop. He said that on this show. But I thought early that Carson Matthews was probably the best shortstop, and Jackson was coaching him. Hey, coach wants this out of you here. You need to do this on picks, and this is where you need to be on picks. He didn't care about, like, I'm not going to tell him that, because if he fails, then I'm going to move into that spot. I put him at second. He played a great second. I put him at third. He played a great third. I put him at short, and he's playing like the best shortstop in our conference right now. But he does things he gives it everything he's got, and I think he holds everybody else accountable that's on the field, even us. I mean, he'll talk to us about, hey, what do you think about? And I'm like, oh yeah, maybe we should do that. I could switch you. I could play short a little bit, and maybe you could go to third base. But I mean, he's just that kind of guy that you want on your team. And I mean, I think he's a pro prospect. He's turned himself into a pro prospect already. Just an awesome guy, an awesome player.
The man exudes swag. Jeremy and I had this conversation. Like, he walks around and we're like, oh, he's got so much swag.
He's got it. You know it when you see it, right?
Yeah.
Carries himself with
not arrogant, but you know he's ready to play. Yeah.
A lot of swag. Okay, before you go, Coach, I want to talk to you a little bit about Jason Shepard. What's more enjoyable, sitting in with us on BYU Sports Nation, or struggling through an interview with our guy Shep?
Struggling?
Well, I mean, I do everything I possibly can to help Shep get through that interview. You know, I just say, hey, just ask me an open-ended question and let me take it from there. Hey, Shep's out. He's a part of our team. He's out at practice every single day.
You gonna give him a jersey? Like a number?
No, we're not. If we do, it'd be 0. So, and we don't have a 0. But he knows us intimately. He's with us, and he's part of. Yeah, he's an awesome guy. Does an awesome job.
Amen to that. Yep. He is fantastic. Shep, we love you, man. You're the ultimate pinch hitter, brother.
I'll see you at 11.
Exactly. If we don't make fun of you, we don't like you.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Coach, great to have you with us. Let's give you some BYU Sports Nation karma for tomorrow.
Let's do it. And at San Diego.
Yeah,
Huge
we'll take
week,
it.
right?
Tough week. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
Thanks, guys.